bunch of teenagers making their own decisions. I think we all know that the family life could be better for a lot of these teenagers. I speak with them on a daily basis, and I'm amazed to hear some of their personal stories about their upbringing. And so we have to provide solutions, and we have to provide alternative for these students.
In Los Angeles, until very recently, once you got on the gang list, you couldn't get off the gang list. Kim's project, the Youth Justice Coalition, has made the beginnings of a change there when they got the city attorney to set up an actual process where if you're on the gang list, you can go in with evidence and protest and make the argument that you really don't belong there. But until recently, more than half of African American youth in Los Angeles were on that gang list. I mean, the problem with the label gangs isn't that there are gangs. It's not like there are gangs, right? But the problem is that it refuses the focus. And in New York, the fact that the police department primarily looks at the issue of violence and lethal violence means that the primary focus is on guns. Not gangs, not kids, but kids with guns. Where are these guns coming from? How do kids get them? What kind of interventions can we follow to get guns off the street and out of the hands of gangs? Kids, and I would say that focus, guns, not gangs, is a real key to the fact that our statistics look so much better, and also the fact that we know from the experience over many years in Los Angeles, and again, many years in Chicago, that the kind of harsh, repressive tactics that have been used in those cities for decades and cost so much money tend to be, I mean, the evidences are counterproductive. You know, you've got 2.5 decades of harsh crackdowns, sweeps, mass arrests, lock them up, throw the key away, long gang enhancements in your sentencing law, civil injunctions that label whole neighborhoods as gang-infested and basically criminalize everyone in the neighborhood, put them under constant surveillance, and put kids in a situation where they can't really be seen on the street without risking another arrest. That these kinds of tactics tend to boomerang. They solidify the gangs. They coalesce the gangs. If you send gang members off to prison together for long periods of time, you end up with corporate, institutionalized gangs.
I think it will take quite some time for us to get to that level. However, if we don't address our violence, I think our size and our problems could magnify. But from my experience in Los Angeles, I see a lot of youth crying out for help in Cleveland. And that's what I see from my everyday work. When I'm in and out of schools, a lot of the kids don't have food when they go home. Some wear the same clothing to school every day. There's some tremendous social issues in our city and our schools. So I believe that they want that love and that attention via a program, a mentor, or a gang, or a clique. So the biggest difference I've seen between Los Angeles and Cleveland is the level of organization in the gang, and probably the history as well.
It's about programs that have been tried again, tested, evaluated. We know they work. We know they save taxpayer money. We know that these are interventions that really matter. Functional family therapy, which is a project where people go into the homes of high-risk kids and work with the family to strengthen the parenting skills of parents, to strengthen the bonds between family members, and on a cost-benefit basis, pay back taxpayers $7.50 for every dollar invested. Multi-systemic therapy, $7.70 for every dollar invested. Again, social workers and therapists working not just with the family, but with the schools, with the teachers, trying to build a network of support for kids who are headed for serious trouble. And the most cost-effective, multidimensional treatment, foster care. This is for kids who are involved already in serious violence, taking them out of that environment, but not sending them off to some, youth facility where they're just going to learn from their peers and the contagion of violence is going to take hold, but rather putting them individually in foster care families that have been recruited, trained, and are supervised by therapists and trained social workers to change these kids' behavior, to use the best theories from what we know about social learning to really make a difference. $11.60 for every dollar that taxpayers invest in these programs. But they're not sexy, and when politicians stand up and start talking about functional family therapy rather than cracking down or, we're going to get these gang members, what? People go, oh, huh. The bottom line, though, is that the kind of money that gets invested in the crackdowns and the harsh treatment, or even some of the more nice social work with the cops that come out and, visit with you or come to your school or that kind of thing, the money invested there takes money out of the social service agencies, the schools, and the environment where trained, clinical therapists and social workers can follow the models that have been tried again and again and we know they work.
We have to find a way, as leaders, because all of us are leaders, to sort of pull that barrier down and work for a common cause, which is our youth. I look at America and how it's changing. As I grow up and become more educated about worldly issues, racism is still prevalent, but I think I'm starting to understand the class. Whether you're white, black, Hispanic, if you're poor, there's no voice for you. And what I do every day, we allow our students to speak and be creative. Same thing with Davis Challenge, same thing with Peace in the Hood. So I think we just have to eliminate our own barriers, because we're putting them up, come together, and I think we'll make some progress.